We lost everything, but not our spirit. The memories, the fight, the love. And piece by piece, we built something that still speaks our name. This is our story, not just of the storm, but what came after.
This year marking 20 years since Hurricane Katrina made landfall, devastating New Orleans, parts of Mississippi, and of course the Gulf Coast. There's a new documentary that follows one of many families that endured days of trauma after the storm hit. It's called Together in the Eye, 20 years later. And joining us this morning is the director of this film, Yasmeen Blake. It is so great to have you with us.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to talk with you because, recently we've seen a lot of documentaries this year, obviously being the 20th years since Hurricane Katrina. I think we all remember where we were. You're a Hurricane Katrina survivor yourself. Why is it important for you to share the story of your family?
Well, it's very important because I'm a native, I'm a survivor, and I'm also a journalist. And so TV news trained me up to write, shoot, edit, to do all of those things. And I've always wanted to produce a documentary on my family's experience. So when the 20th anniversary came around, I said, let me put this out. Let me do this. It's time. And we need to preserve the culture.
One of the things that I think is so interesting, because depending on who you talk to, everybody had a different experience with Katrina, but I think there is something that you cannot deny, is that the devastation was just terrible. People have their thoughts also about what the government did, around that time. I know there's a big talking point. Why was it important for you to really dive into the happenings of Hurricane Katrina?
I think that it's not talked about enough. It should be in the history books. And also, talking to my little cousins who were born after the storm, they don't know much about it. And they're in the city, they're living in a city that was impacted 20 years ago. So I really just wanted to educate people. I wanted to inform people, and I wanted to give my perspective from someone who survived it and who was living in the city still to this day.
What do you remember of Hurricane Katrina 20 years ago?
I remember watching a press conference with the former Mayor Ray Nagin, and I just remember feeling the tension and the fear. And I also remember watching everyone leave and looking at them like we're stuck. Everyone is escaping and we're stuck dead in the middle of danger.
Something I don't think a lot of people understand is that there were a lot of those of you who were out there in New Orleans who had to evacuate, right?
Yes.
And were told to evacuate. Atlanta became a place that tens of thousands of people came to. And at some point, you even found yourself in Atlanta at a short amount of time, too. What was that like?
Oh, when you're young, you look at a hurricane like a vacation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like New Orleans
not even
people,
understanding
the kids,
the extent.
And so I experienced my first hurricane as an adult with Ida in 2021, and I'm like, this is not a vacation.
At all.
This is not fun. But we were just looking at it like, oh, we're out of the city. We get to spend time with family. I have family here in Atlanta. We wind up going to South Carolina, so we winded up out there as well. And so we just looked at it like a time to get away from home.
How long was it before you went back to New Orleans?
My mama went back home. She decided to go back home on October the 3rd, 2005. And I will never forget it because I was angry. I just didn't understand why she would want to go back into a deserted city. But now, 20 years later, looking back, I understand why.
Do you remember what you saw when you went back eventually?
Yeah, it was just devastation. Everything that we knew about home was no longer. And it hurt, even at 9 years old, because I felt the love and the culture of what the city was in pre-Katrina New Orleans. And that's what this film is about.
And you're back home now, right?
I'm back home, baby.
All right. I love it. You sound so New Orleans, in Louisiana, baby. Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for being with us.